Feels weird doing this after fucking half a year.
I'm sure nothing happened while we were gone.
Nothing at all.
We're still doing better than last year in terms of amount of recordings we've done for the show.
True. But also, we
Didn't
didn't
we
do so many things.
Start last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
We only did 3 in 2019, though.
Yeah, because we started it really late, didn't we? Or no.
Around the summer.
We started in the summer, and then just life TM happened.
That's kind of what happened again this time.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Big Rona, we're looking at you.
Mm-hmm. But it's fine. It's fine.
This is fine. I am fine with
fine. It's fine.
Around me.
The tavern is still in one piece. The proverbial tavern is.
We do have to social distance, though.
Yeah, we're at different tables now. It's fine.
Yeah. Yep.
We have to wear masks.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
Yep. We do have some questions.
Yay!
That was our mantra. Remember that was what we did? Okay.
Yeah.
So, man, I guess, you know what? This is a cool one. This isn't on the list, but it's been a while. Any new interesting things in your creative repertoires, Lance? I know. I'm asking this because I know Lance's answer.
What now?
This is your lead-in to talk about Xanathar.
I play a fish. Yeah, no, I got picked for a podcast by the Nerd Asylum. It's run by Joe. He is an amazing DM. And I actually get to be a player, so that's really cool. It's called the Xanathar. It's super fun. We've only had one recording session so far, but I think we're going to start releasing episodes some point early next year.
That's exciting.
I can't give an actual date, but yeah, no, I play Nero, who's a Triton fighter. He's super fun.
Ooh, that is fun.
Got a cat the first episode, so that's fun. Unwillingly, mind you.
Could you perhaps elaborate on what this actually is, besides just another podcast? Because I'm interested. It sounds pretty cool.
So, yeah, just to give a little bit of a basis, can't give away a lot, but we are...
Genre and premise.
Yeah, it's I believe it's 5e, but we're playing in Waterdeep. And, Xanathar had published his book and retired, and everything in Waterdeep had just been great. Like, there's no real crime or, anything like that. And all of a sudden, crime starts to grow a little bit. And so we're in the midst of trying to figure out why that is, while getting into a whole lot of trouble. But
crime stories are always just a trip and a half, aren't they?
It is super fun so far. I love the group that I'm with. I've already drawn several scenes from our first episode. I've collabed with some of the other players to do more art with them. And we're going to have our socials up here soon, so that's cool.
That is very cool.
Nice.
Oh wait, Lance, are you not done? Sorry.
No, I'm trying to think of what else I did besides that.
What did we were hiding in this tavern? What were we up to?
My voice deepened.
This is true.
Yep.
So there's that. But that's pretty much the only creative thing I've got going for me.
You still have 20 essay. That's still going.
We do. We just finished episode 53, recording episode 53. So we're going to be doing a recap episode here pretty soon. And stuff is going down. Soon. We just finished a mall episode, so it was kind of like crack. But Yes, that's going down real soon, and I'm super excited for it. And I don't think my players are quite ready.
I think I'm caught up. I don't think I've listened to the Halloween special, but I think other like story wise, I'm caught up.
We don't talk about the Halloween special.
The K Squad.
Good.
Oh, delightfully devilish, Seymour.
What about you, Spy? We've had time, sorta, kinda.
Yeah, you would think so. You'd think so. You'd really fucking think so.
There's no shame in hey, yes, the real world is horrible.
Oh god, yeah, no, I had a shit autumn. But it's currently, as we record this, it's December 10th, and it is the midst of World Ember, which is the writing challenge that World Anvil does every year in December. And the baseline challenge is to write 10,000 words of fresh world building for your worlds in the month of December in the span of 31 days. I have not gotten as far along as I wanted to. I was originally shooting for 25,000, which is the Novella Achievement Award. It's a special little badge that you get. I did it the first year, did not do it the second. May or may not get to it this year, depending on how far along I am able to make it. Because I have some stuff to do this weekend, and I'm flying home next week. Yeah, but other than that, I should have the time to get it all out. And a huge chunk of this fresh world building that I have on the docket is actually for Orion's Echo, which
Oh
is
yeah.
the Hyperlanes 5e adaptation, sci-fi adaptation system that I've raved about before, but I'm hopefully gonna get that campaign off the ground fucking finally, because it's been absolutely forever.
Yep. But I am glad that it is happening. As for us with Frostwalkers, C2 is kind of going on a bit of a hiatus. We're probably going to swing back into 2021 with some new ideas, and I'm very excited for that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be some stuff. I think I can't talk too much about it because I don't want to give too much away without without all of my players around to talk about it with. But there's going to be a bunch of new ideas, games, stories. We're just going to be throwing shit at the wall and telling a bunch of fun stories for a while. And I think, I don't know, I'm real excited for that creative and atmosphere, you know? Just
Yeah.
constant new ideas. I also can say that over this time, I was doing a lot of writing in the world of Frostwalkers too. I did Halloween stories in the month of October. I did that homebrew book I was talking about for all of the C1 stuff, and I've started like a couple. The continent of Catharoon has a text RP, and me and my friend Midnight are working on something set in the world of C1, like 10 years later, and that'll be fun. One of the coolest things about a finished campaign is I can keep going into that space at different time periods and just coming up with new shit.
Oh yeah. Oh god, don't get me started on fucking timelines. I've had too much reorganization lately.
So what B is saying is he's been way busier than us.
Oh god, he's been far more productive.
He's gotten a lot more done and has been a lot more productive in the last months.
I blame the fact that I was pretty much already planning on being inside the year anyway. I took classes online, like that was already part of the plan. So it's just like, you know, the introvert life is one that lets me do things. Yeah, that worked on some other TTRPG projects. That's kind of it for me. Should we get into questions?
Questions.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go from the top, even though I should probably go from the bottom because we have one from May. Uh, ooh, this is a question we can answer, but one I might want to keep for when we inevitably begin to allow people back into our tavern. This is actually a really cool question. I've always been curious about the process, how other DMs prep, get stuff down, build up connections and lore. How do you manage your world building to make sure you can keep a connected base? That's a real cool question.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, we could go on forever about this one.
That was asked by the Silver Dusk, just so that's out there.
You couldn't have started with a simpler question like,
I can.
what's your name?
I can.
I'm so out of practice.
No, that's fine. Let's find a warm up. Here we go.
We should ease into that one.
Yeah. Midnight Blue has a pretty good warm up. Which systems other than D&D 5e do you enjoy and why? Do you like or dislike D6 based systems? So I think, they can. Midnight can scream at me if I'm wrong. I think part of the reason why they ask is that Midnight is part of a Trail of Cthulhu live play now, and I believe Trail of Cthulhu is a D6 system.
Oh boy!
Yeah, I got to listen to the
first boy
this week. Oh god, this week as we're recording, it's so good. It's real. If body horror ain't your thing, don't.
I have one question and one question only.
Yes.
Are they going the full Henderson?
I have not.
Oh, God.
I have not seen a Henderson yet.
Okay.
As of session one, I have not seen a budding Henderson yet.
Okay, I ask purely because Trail of Cthulhu is what Henderson is from.
Yep. I have not seen the birth. This is only session one though, so a Henderson could yet be birthed. But all I know is Midnight is playing a bit of an outsider to this horrifying monster house pastiche, and the other characters have been in there far longer. So stuff like the fact the house does not allow Wi-Fi to come in is true horror to poor Evelyn, who is apparently a YouTuber.
Oh, good lord!
Oh man, Evelyn went for my throat in the first episode a couple times. Oh man, but anyway, on to the actual question. Other systems than D&D 5e that we enjoy. Man,
I've already yelled about hyperlanes enough.
True, and I just realized with CF as well, and Midnight's just got like all the bases to ask this question. Most of their work's in other systems anyway.
Yeah.
God, I got the chance to play Urban Shadows on Hallie's charity stream this October. I got to finally bring out my werewolf boy Aurelio. That was a good time. That one's 2d6. But I enjoyed Powered by the Apocalypse.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some fun with Monster of the Week. The previous Monster of the Week campaign that I was invited to and we started has sort of died a couple sessions in. I got invited to another one, but I'm not sure when that's happening. But yeah, I still haven't played a lot of systems. I don't get a lot of opportunities or offers to play, which is a little, but c'est la vie. I mean, B, you made a whole fucking system.
Yeah.
Whether it's D12, right? I don't.
No, that's fine. It's D20. It's like use all of them. It's basically D20 is your roll for everything, and then you could use your other dice depending on if they're good.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
You get to roll.
Right. Okay, it's coming back to me now. Yeah, it's the dice depends on how good your skill is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, I was just like, God, I hate when systems are like buy the whole set because you need a D4, a D10, and a D12. But like you need to buy the 7-piece kit, but you're not going to use all 7 pieces. You're only going to use a few of the archaic ones. I'm just like,
use all the dice.
Yeah, pretty much. What about you, Lance? Any cool?
So I really haven't played much besides 5e. I do enjoy Monster of the Week. Played a little bit of that. Working on getting into a couple of things with Starfinder and Pathfinder, and haven't actually played them yet, but I'm super excited to. And
Deco does Starfinder.
I do have, I don't know if it's 5e, but I do have the Witcher tabletop game, and I'm super excited to play that.
Ooh, that's exciting.
That's a dark one, man. I was reading through it, and I'm just like, oh, it's just like the game. But yeah.
Awesome. D6 system. I mean, feelings on that specifically. I haven't played too many that are singular D6s, but I get it. I get why there are D6 only systems. They're the most available.
Mm-hmm.
I think if the game is run well, I really enjoy D6 systems. It just depends on how the game is going and if it makes sense. I've had a few D6 systems where it didn't work. Like, I don't know how to describe it, it didn't work.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Just to get even to something like a 20 in D6s, you need like 3 of them. So, yeah. Then it becomes a big whole thing. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good warm-up question.
I feel better now.
Yeah,
Now we're in the groove.
Let's see. Wizard Power 700 asks the best advice you can give for backstory.
I'm gonna sit this one out. I suck at making characters.
Actually, I think DM advice for this could be the best advice I'd give is if your DM gives you like, I like to write up like a page or something about the world I'm throwing my players in and giving it to them beforehand. You know, like I enjoy doing that. If your DM does something like that with you, find something that you find interesting and drill into that with your character, because it's going to make the DM feel really happy that you're interested in part of their world building process. And it's going to make you really happy because then the DM's going to make the story around that thing you want to know more about.
Agreed. Yeah, I really don't have much to add to this.
All right, sit back at my
Oh boy, it's Lance time.
130 plus characters sitting in my D&D Beyond, all with tense backstories. So actually, it's really funny because with Xanathar, I talked with the DM, and my character only knows 2 years worth of backstory, and he has the amnesia backstory. So that's always a fun thing to do if your DM's willing to. Like Joe's super stoked about. He said as long as you're willing to learn about your backstory throughout the game, you know. But I like to think of backstories as literal stories for your character. So you kind of think of like their beginning, then there's some sort of like problem in their life, and then either a solution to that problem or a continuation of trying to fix that problem that you can bring into the story. So it's like your backstory is literally a story of your character before everything happens. So you just got to think about what they did before everything. Give them a reason to continue on looking for answers or revenge or, in search of something that could actually add more to the story that the DM's giving. That's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, I don't know. Lance has. I think that's everything I could have said more.
Yeah, I would agree. Lance is probably the authority on this.
Yep. Oh, final thing I'll throw in. Conflict in your backstory does not always have to be violent. This is a
No.
weird tangent. Like, they could be looking for something. Like,
It doesn't have to be a tragic backstory.
No, it does not. And honestly, you might enjoy the. I've learned this year. You might enjoy the character more if you give them a backstory that has some sad things, and also like some things that are really cool that they enjoy. Like, give your character a hobby because that just makes them happy and makes you more fulfilled because they have something to be happy about. You know.
And then they can totally weird out the other players as that character is doing that hobby in front of them.
Yeah. Look, this.
What do you think hobby means?
Do you want a list?
I could tell you about a hobby from one of my characters, which will weird out the party, but not in the way you're thinking.
What, making candles out of their own earwax?
No. My good son Kaipo in the Lonely Islands campaign is a bard, and he's a lore bard. Spirit bard. He wanted to be a lore bard, but fate had different plans. He likes to tell stories of heroes and other brave people. And so he sees this group of kids going to, find the secrets of this undead menace before the adults, because they think their adults and their families are going into a death trap. And Kaipo's just like, holy shit, I'm about to get the inside scoop on these soon-to-be heroes. Hell yeah, I'm coming along for the ride. And what they don't know is the book he's constantly writing in is a fantastical recount of their adventures up till now, with all the embellishments that a bard would give.
So he's writing fanfic about his friends.
Yes!
So what you're saying is he's Varric from Dragon Age.
Mm-hmm. And
lovely.
And
this is Sparks Himbo, right?
This is my character.
Oh, that's your character. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Sparks
can't keep track of who's who
you're good.
in Lonnie.
Yeah, you're good. Sparks' Himbo is the Hexblade Warlock. But instead of a blade, it's more like Hex Club. It's a long story.
Oh my god.
Anyway, Kaipo is just a good boy, and the part that Kaipo wasn't expecting was that the Grave Cleric in the party would start being really nice, and then he'd have weird feelings, and then the back of his book has become his place to vent about that. And then someone bet him to read through his book. So now he's really trying to win that bet because he's just realized, oh fuck, that's embarrassing.
Oof.
So you could give your character a hobby that isn't tragic and could be really funny. Because I have told a few people, if he loses this bet, I will actually bite the bullet and write some of this shit down the way he would, and it's gonna be
You're
real
gonna
bad.
Shinari it up.
Oh yeah, it'll be real bad. I love my boy, but the thing is, it's not so much the romantic side of things that he's interested in. It's more like he's gonna make everyone sound 100 times more badass than the truth.
Yeah.
So a thing that actually happened in the campaign was we rescued a Lokatha from a Sahagin. In Kaipo's version of events, it was a whole army of Sahagin, but it's for dramatic flair. But yes, point being, the backstory can also allow for some real good jokes. Let's see. Blue, or Kanzai, asks, this is probably a common question, but what is the wildest plan that your players had ever pulled off? I know the ones we've talked about in the past. I guess specifically for Lance and kind of myself. Any new ones worth a mention? Any new shit worth a pass?
Sadly, no.
So they haven't pulled it off yet, but are wow, airplane. Go away, airplane. So like I was saying before, we just recorded Space Mall episodes.
Yeah.
To get clothing to infiltrate a party on Princess Nora's homeworld. Yeah. So the Space Mall was completely hilarious. All I can say is denim fighter suit.
Yeah!
I'm not gonna say any more on that. But yeah, no, they are planning a plan that is
Very
it's one of those it's very plannable. It's one of those plans that if they get caught, it's pretty much over for them.
Ooh, high risk, high reward.
It's high risk, high reward. They have to infiltrate this party to get something in her father's study to save her advisor. So they're going undercover as a family that is invited to the party. And it's gonna be good. I'm excited to see what they come up with. Sito gets to join them on this adventure, so that's gonna be fun. Besides that, I'm trying to think. There was an intense fight that's gonna be releasing pretty soon on Helera that I was shocked that they managed to pull off. Half of the crew did not manage to pull it off. Just and he paid the price.
What the fuck does that mean?
Just ancient demons and whatnot. But yeah, no, they're doing some pretty good plans and escape plans. I haven't really thrown much in the way of like instant you have to come up with a plan to get out of this sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But Botchus did have to talk his way out of a mall cop situation.
Was their name?
Oh my
Paul?
god.
It wasn't confirmed, but yes, their name was Paul.
Paul.
Oh god.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what they come up with. We're gonna get into some really fun, intense episodes here in the next couple weeks, and I'm excited to see what they do.
I can't believe you got Paul Blart Mall Cop in your space days.
You can't believe? Why can't you believe that? Really?
No, you know what?
You give me the opportunity to have a mall cop in space, and you think I'm not gonna name him Paul?
Paul Blart.
Fucking perfect. Oh my god. Okay, quick related side story here. Recently the folks who run Void Fair and a bunch of other shows, Project Derailed, they opened up their Discord server. And so the other day I was just sort of vibing, skimming through the conversation happening in general chat, and I swear to fucking god I thought I saw a message that said something Kevin James about being psionic. And I had to do a fucking triple take to make sure I had not read what I thought I'd just read. Because the implication of psionic mall cop is just, Psionic
Mall Cop.
Kevin James psionic question mark? Don't like that. You know what Kevin James IKEA counterpart is called? Paul Blart. All right, moving on.
Let's see. Should we go into it? Oh, I guess I could answer the question. I'll go with a C2 story. I paid the price for this one because I got to be a player, but I had a dumb plan and I executed it. and it didn't go great. But I think it was one of those times where the DM didn't quite know what to do with what I had to say. There was this magical trickster thing causing chaos in the city, and Holloway has his patron, and he visits her and just goes, "Hey, you know, what are you up to there with all this fucking bullshit going on in town?" He knows that she didn't do this, by the way. And she's just like, I haven't been doing any of this. Like, this is all so archaic and childish. I would never do things this dumb. And he's like, well, it sure is working. The town's all riled up. Man, like, you've been at this for years, and this new kid on the block's shown up with a couple rubber snakes and is just taking all your turf. That's gotta suck. And they were like, I could do better than them if I tried. And they're like, oh, really? Well, I mean, we are hunting this thing down now. So, like, if you ever wanted to prove yourself, like, I guess now's the time, am I right? And I could hear that moment where the DM's like, oh god, they have a point, you know? Like, oh god, there's a chance that this character might fall for this kind of blow to the ego kind of thing.
Oh yeah, you know? Weaponizing their pride always works.
So I believe in a moment of DM double take, Luronis just got pissed and tore Holloway's clothes instead of, continuing the conversation because they were pissed. So like, it didn't work out, but it almost did. And it was more so that I found the chink in Holloway's patron's armor that is their pride with rubber snakes. I don't know. Like, I technically lost that situation, but I feel like Holloway won, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, the fact they got so mad that they didn't have a witty comeback and instead just, like, tried to attack him. It's like, I win. That was good.
That's fantastic.
That was a good scene. And then the torn up handkerchief started leading down the changeling reveal road, which was cool. But yeah, that was the time that was my stupid plan, was weaponize the pride of the recurring villain to try and get them to be a temporary ally. Didn't quite work how I intended.
But yeah.
But like,
close, but no cigar.
And frankly, the fact I got close to Holloway means the world, because now she's fallible. So, I feel like it's first segment time. If we wanted to do that.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
All right, who goes first?
I believe the tradition has always been terrible D&D ideas first.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is a good one. Strap in, folks, because I have a post. Excuse me. I have a post here on my Tumblr tagged with absolutely horrible D&D ideas that I must try out ASAP. Post by user Procopets, which a lot of people probably know. Pending character creation changes for Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition. 1. The game's default setting no longer has native humans. Human player characters are presumed to be interdimensional travelers from Earth. 2. Dwarves are now magnetic. They don't have magnetic powers as such, metal objects just stick to them. 3. Orcs are secretly robots. Only orcs know this. 4. Drow are replaced with low elves, who are exactly like high elves, except they build their towers down instead of up. They regard surface-dwelling peoples as very silly for building on the wrong direction. 5. All non-human species now have half variants rather than just elves and orcs, but instead of being half human, they're half the size. Nobody is completely sure what halflings are half of. And 6. Gnomes can fly. Which of these would you want to include in your fucking campaign?
Low elves. Totally low elves.
Low elves, dude.
I agree with them. Why would you build your buildings up?
It gives them the perfect excuse to have an Australian accent, mate.
It's true.
Come from the land down under. I don't know. I think dwarves are magnetic is really funny too. Just like
Especially if
they
they're
walk
like,
into a tavern and all the fucking tankards and silverware in the place just you.
could you imagine a blacksmith that is magnetic?
Oh my god! I feel. Oh no.
Oh, what would happen if a gnome and an orc got close to each other?
You mean dwarf? Dwarves are the magnet.
Or
Gnomes don't
dwarfs.
fly.
Dwarves. What if a dwarf?
A dwarf and a oh god, a dwarf and an orc. Oh no.
It'd just be that thing where you see this orc walking and there's this dwarf just on his back,
That would be
just arms crossed.
The fox. Oh god. Hang on. Okay, I'm curious. I'm gonna look up because I want to know. Is ferromagnet effect by? Aha! A magnet subjected to heat experiences a reduction in its magnetic field as the particles within the magnet are moving at an increasingly faster and more sporadic rate. Okay. So a magnetic dwarven blacksmith would be cool. He'd be fine as long as the metal was still hot.
He'd never lose his hammer.
I mean, you're right. Oh god.
Might not be able to reach it, but you know.
I think my favorite is that nobody's sure what halflings are half of. I think that's the best one. It's just like, yeah, okay, so there's you got your half elves, your half orcs, your half tabaxi, your half fucking whatever, and then you got the halflings. What are halflings half of? Lings? And a halfling who's nearby just like shakes their head. No. What are you half of? I'll never tell.
Shrugs.
Oh no.
No, I find it funnier to imagine the halflings 100% know what they're half of. Oh god, maybe they killed their larger counterparts. Maybe they just committed genocide on the lings.
Oh, you know. Wink.
Wink. So the halflings know, but they're not fucking telling. No matter how drunk you get a halfling, they won't tell.
It's a secret. It's so good of a secret that they need to like unlock the memories to find out.
And then they just explain it in Ling, which is just a dead language.
Yeah, exactly. They start talking and nobody can fucking understand what they're saying because linguish has been dead for 1,000 years.
Do you think that's where the term linguist comes from?
Fuck!
Whoa.
Oh my god, we're on some galaxy brain shit right now.
This is what happens when I have peppermint schnapps hot cocoa.
Oh no. Well, I personally am a big fan of flying gnomes because I mean, how couldn't you be? Look at them. They're so happy.
Oh god, there's somebody in the notes here say user bluebread mage. But wait, gnomes can already fly. Gnomes are between 3 and 4 feet tall and average around 40 pounds. Mage hand. Mage hand, the attack cannot carry more than 10 pounds. Enlarge, reduce. Reduce, the target size is halved in all dimensions and its weight is reduced to 1/8 of normal. So if you cast reduce on a gnome and then mage hand yeet them, the gnome can fly. Actually, no. If the gnome casts reduce on themselves and then casts mage hand, they can fucking hack Newtonian physics and just make themselves fly. Pick them up by the seat of their own fucking underwear and oh god, they give themselves a wedgie probably. Lethal self wedgie. Oh man. So this has been absolutely horrible D&D ideas that I must try out ASAP.
I've already written down notes.
Oh, yes! Good.
Good. Let's see. Back to questions then.
Yeah, let's do a few more.
We should finally get back to Silver's question.
Yeah, I'm ready
Yeah.
for it now.
Do that.
I've always been curious as to the process of how DMs prep, get stuff down, build up connections. How do you manage your world building? Make sure you keep a connected and solid base.
I don't know about you, but I use World Anvil.
This is an advertisement.
I'm not getting paid for this. I just love it.
No, I know.
It's so useful.
World Anvil is actually a very good choice.
It's not for everybody. I will say that. But yeah, I fucking love World Anvil. If you should, everyone should at least give it a try. Every world builder should give World Anvil a try, because to me it's very much worth it. I actually recently, I think last month, they opened up limited Grandmaster lifetime subscriptions where you basically pay $500 and you are now subscribed to the site for fucking ever, for 40,000 years. I checked, it's 40,000 years. You're subscribed to the site for 40,000 years. So Rev and I Rev very nicely helped in purchasing that. So now I am a lifetime grandmaster. I don't have to worry about monthly payments anymore. Yeah, I
Sweet.
I am 100% invested in World Anvil. And for good reason. They keep putting out more and more new features and stuff. The new map software that they're collaborating with others on is in the works, Project Deus.
That's right. And we heard the inklings of that beginning when we did the episode about heroes.
God, that 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
I cannot confirm, but I have heard / seen rumors that they are working on a new tool that will help you organize your timelines as well.
Ooh.
So
Ooh, that does sound very cool. I didn't do World Anvil for C1 because I didn't know it existed. But next time I do like a long form campaign, I think that's gonna
you
be
can
yeah, now I can.
just do that. If you're a writer, just like a straight up writer, if you don't, you're not running a campaign, you're not world building for the hell of it, you're specifically writing. They have basically a docs equivalent tool now called manuscripts, where you can literally draft your book, novel, whatever, in World Anvil and like consistently reference stuff from your world, so you don't have to like tab back and forth all the time. It's
That's
really cool.
all.
I haven't tried it yet, but it's really cool. So yeah, that's the end of my shilling for World Anvil. How about you guys?
Again, we are not sponsored by World
We're not
Anvil.
sponsored. I wish we were. Well, I
Yeah,
kind of am.
Sponsor us.
we
Janet's
have
patrons are following the only people on my Patreon right now, so I get $3 from them, which is very nice. But yeah, no, this is not a paid advertisement. I'm just really fucking. Anyways, please continue.
Well, for me, I know I've said this before, but preparing for episodes in general, I used to do a lot. I used to write like 4 freaking pages and stress that it wasn't going to be enough. Now I'm lucky if I get like a few bullet points down, because I've learned that as a DM, I'm here to give them a story, but they're the ones that's filling in like the pages.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I have all of their backstories, in which I've made like a timeline. I haven't done World Anvil. I tried and got overwhelmed a little bit, mainly because I'm old and don't know how to use technology. But I do a timeline of my characters' backstories. I do main bullet points that I know the characters are going to go through, main story things, and then they pretty much get themselves there. If you have a good crew that works well together, like I do with 20SA, love you guys. You kind of luck out when it comes to that because you can have those main bullet points and those just plot points down. That's what they're called, plot points, and they work so well together that they create the story for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And it's important to get your players' input, as we've said numerous times before, when you're building your campaign world.
Oh yeah.
Which is what I did recently with Orion's Echo. Like I've laid out stuff for I independently laid out stuff for like species and culture and stuff, but they're just general guidelines. And recently, when I was sort of getting back into the groove of OE, I pinged the players in my server and I said, "Hey guys, so I'm doing some more lore work for Orion's Echo, and I want to get your thoughts on what we should do tech wise, because there's a wide range of like options. Excuse me. There's a wide range of options for various technologies that are common in sci-fi. So for faster than light, obviously we want faster than light travel because that makes the whole thing possible. But like, what kind do we want? I mean, obviously the jump gates are canon, so wormholes are canon. But do we want to do like warp drives or Riemann hyperspace or something weirder, like I don't know, infinite improbability drive or something? And what about gravity? Like, do we want to do standard artificial gravity, or do we want to make it interesting and say that gravity only exists in terms of like quote unquote gravity only exists in terms of acceleration? So like when a ship is accelerating or braking or when a station is rotating, that's the only time you'll get gravity in space. Because all of those preferences inform how the world is built, and specifically how the technology is built. Because for warp drives, generally you need warp rings. That's what makes the space go ver. Um, for for depending on artificial gravity, like if you have proper artificial gravity, like gravity manipulation technology, you can build your ships any fucking way you want because you can manipulate gravity. But if you're slave to the whims of acceleration, then your ships are basically going to be built like apartment stacks, like vertical stacks, where the decks are perpendicular to the direction of thrust, and each space station is going to have these segments that are massive wheels. So in the end, we decided to go for more like softer tropes, like the typical hyperspace, like Riemann hyperspace. Um, and artificial gravity, mainly because it makes things easier, but also it when you include these things, you have to think about like the impact that the other impacts that it has on your world. So like if you have gravity manipulation tech, you pretty much automatically get dirt cheap planet crackers. You get weapons that you can take gravity plates and just, I don't know, mount a bunch of them to the back of a fucking tungsten telephone pole and then turn them on and watch this thing shoot towards a planet and glass the thing. Um, so it introduces new challenges. Um, so that's a very long-winded and self-indulgent way of saying, get your players' input on what the details of your world, not just like the general feel of the world, but like things that you want to include or not include, because it affects it, it is all about what they want, what like the story and the world that they want to explore. um but it's also about the details.
Yeah.
That was a lot. Sorry.
Also, when you can't go through all that scientific stuff because you didn't go and learn space stuff in college, you can just say magic.
Honestly, hand oh, it's magic is a lot of what I did with Adrian, which is the fantasy world that I was building for my first campaign, which didn't end up happening. Still might, not sure. But a lot of it is just like, this isn't possible. Magic.
That's what Space Days is. It's like, well, how do your ships work? Magitech. Well, what's Magitech? Magic and technology.
What one can't explain, the other can.
Exactly.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I totally agree with Spy. And like, your players can bring something new to the table of your world that you wouldn't have thought of. Like, I had my characters, or the players of Space Days, build their own homeworlds. And like their customs and their holidays. And it's actually been really fun. And it's going to be really fun to incorporate that into what's going to be happening.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
What about you, B? Did you answer the question? I can't remember.
I didn't. You guys have such very good answers.
We got so excited.
No, hell yeah. A lot of what I have for C1 is written on Google Docs and just notes that I've acquired through the ages. If we're gonna talk like history setup, the history for Timshel was something that I had kept kind of light and breezy because I had some ideas, but I wanted my players to like maybe inform it if that's a route they wanted to take, you know? Especially because Calum was a prince, like the legacy of that could have become a thing. But the story kind of took its own shape, you know, kind of was about what happened in the moment. But when C1 ended, because it's bizarre for me to remember, but that technically was this year, like mid this year. C1 ended in like May. So like,
did it?
Yeah, right?
No, that ended like, wait.
May. It was April, May. Hold on. I'm going to Spotify right now because I don't believe myself. Okay, let me try and mentally map this. Arc 4 kind of really kicked off at the start of 2020 because of like our typical holiday break we take. February, March. To the River was March 30th. Part 2 in 2D was April 6th. Yeah, no, the finale episodes were April 13th. A Blanket of Stars and Before the Dawn were April 13th, 2020. And then
that's fucking wild to think about.
Right. And then the finale Q&A was May 4th. And the May 8th was our TableCon post. RE-TableCon post. So, yeah, that was in May. That feels like 2 years ago.
What have I done with my life?
It feels like it's been 2 years since then. But, like, yeah, C1 only ended, like, midway into 2020. So, like, there are a lot of unanswered questions. And I'm kind of happy about that because the characters knew what they wanted to accomplish. We accomplished it. And then I'm cool that we let people want more than answered every single detail and kind of exhausted the possibilities of the world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, now I get to do things like go in with Ava, my partner, and Wilderveer as well, and be like, hey, why don't we set an RP in, like, the very beginnings of this continent? Like, what did it look like? And build off of that, and that's just part of the history, and characters from that could appear in the future. Like, it's really cool. And the Halloween episode we did, Fangs and Feathers, introduced a whole other kingdom because I'm insane.
Yeah. Now you know how I feel.
Yeah. Just like, yeah, you know, for Halloween, Timshel isn't the best place to do a Halloween story because it's very, like, Christmas feeling. What if we just had, like, a very spooky kingdom? What would that be like? And then I went off, and then we had the Kingdom of Temeret, and then when the characters from My Sweet Oleander, Ava's webcomic, became part of that mix, it was like, oh, Lawrence is a vampire. Oh, this is gonna work great. Cool. Vampire, like, it kind of all fell into place. But then now I have Temeret, which I can answer questions about, and Catharoon, which has things. And my thing is, I love the opportunities to go in and fill in blanks with different people, like with your players, with friends, through RPs, with just filling in those spaces, learning about this thing together, and creating communally. Like, by the time all of these projects would be exhausted, I would have like 3 kingdoms that someone could run a game in, and then the onus would be on me to like write those up as if they were splat books, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm cool with that. I love. I every once in a while someone will ask me something like, "Hey, so uh, like, are there other creatures like terror in the multiverse of your world? Are there like, there's things like that?" I'll be, it's so cool. It's so cool, and different people bring new ideas and new concepts and things I would never consider, like the thing for 10 years into Jimshell's future. I never would have considered doing a story about investigative tieflings looking into like the remnants of cults. I never would have done a story like that. But like now I am, and it's gonna be weird and interesting. Or like looking back with Cypress and Owain, it's like characters I didn't know I would love. I don't know. It's to me the coolest part about building a base for your world is starting with like what the players need, and then with time things just sprout and you fall in love with those new things and you cultivate them and it just becomes this big web that before you know it you're sitting on this ginormous universe and you're just like, oh well, I made this with people I like, and that feels really good.
Yep.
In my case, I created an actual literal universe.
Yeah. And I mean, it's so cool that like you can look at planets in the space days cosmology and be like, oh yeah, that's the one my player made. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super fun.
And like whenever you bring those planets into the story, like that's got to be incredibly gratifying.
It's really fun to, like, sometimes when I'm making a planet and I'm not quite sure about it, I'll ask my players like a secret question, like, hey, give me something like a creature, or give me a race, or like, something like that. They don't know what they're giving me or what they're doing it for, but most of the time it's Kaz. I'm just like, hey, yes or no? And then they get this terrified look and they're like, yes. And I just start writing. They're like, no, wait, no.
Oh, perfect.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a page out of your book when I'm working on or when I'm actually running Orion's Echo, because Orion's Echo is definitely designed as a planet hopper, sort of in the style of Space Days. And it's gonna be fun to have my players help fill in those gaps, because like I have ideas, but Orion's Echo is definitely intended to be way more collaborative than the rest of my worlds, bar Pine Reef, of course. But like it contrasts pretty starkly to say the Diaspora, which I've been working on for over 6 years now. And I'm still, or God forbid, Arcverse, which is over 10 years old now, and I'm still constantly just writing and rewriting, and it's all like the vast majority of these concepts that are in either of those are of my own devising, because I'm very obsessive and hands-on with my world building.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair though. oh, oh man, I don't remember why this popped into my head. Oh right, one of the questions was systems we enjoyed way back, and you saying that reminded me of our interview with Ren, and that reminds me that I got to play in a system that Ren devised for the future of Here There Be.
Ooh,
It was
right.
I got to play. The interesting thing about that system is the concept of like fantasy, like race slash like ancestry, just didn't matter. Like
Yeah.
you could play whatever you want. So I walked in kind of expecting to do something a la a tiefling, and so I went with that, and I ended up with Briar, a very chaotic character. Like, anyway, sorry, that just completely
No,
so
you're
many
good.
questions back, but it just bleh. Let's see.
We took a long time on that question.
We did. I'll try and find a quick one.
I was gonna say, do we want to move to another segment real quick?
Oh, do we want to do a pub then?
Please, I'm dying to hear this one.
It's my time to shine.
Sure
It's
is,
been
bud.
so long.
Lay it on me.
I've been telling all my puns to Kaz, and I'm pretty sure they're about ready to kick me out of the house.
Oh, boy.
All right. So, Lance's pub pun. Pun pub. I don't know what it is anymore.
It changes every time.
It does. All right. Which body of water do you get bonuses to cross?
Oh boy.
The proficiency.
Fuck!
God damn it!
God damn it! Fuck you. I was thinking to myself like advantage something. God damn it!
The proficiency. God,
The proficiency.
that has to exist somewhere.
You're welcome.
God, it's terrible. Thank you.
That
Unfortunately, I love it.
That feels very Crundle. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
the only sea that I've that I've canonized in Crundle is the Cloud Sea, upon which the Majikaki swim. The
That's correct.
Majikaki, by the way, are giant flying disembodied ears that shoot lightning out of their ear holes and watch slice of life anime.
God, what a
It's
life!
Crundle.
What a life to lead, frankly.
Yes, go earring on the Cloud Sea. You know, there's a mythical giant Majikaki. It's called Loby Dick.
What? I can't believe Spy stole Lance's pup.
I'm sorry, Lance.
Bitch.
Do you have a super extra special bonus for us, or was that the only one for this week?
You know what? Hang on, let me look through my list of puns.
Oh, he's got a list, folks.
I
He's got a list.
believe that this list exists.
Oh yeah, it exists. It's secret and it exists, and okay.
It's not secret anymore.
Oh, you don't know what it says.
Oh, God, you're
All
right.
right. How does the paladin protect against the heat of a firebolt?
Oh boy.
He turns up his AC.
Fuck! Oh God, I hate it. That one's even worse.
Oh, it's so good.
See, that's what happens when you steal my spotlight. The puns just get worse.
You fucking one up me. Holy shit.
That
God, that's
I don't know. Moby Dick was pretty good.
oh God. Turns off his AC. Fuck.
God,
That's brilliant.
I found the thing that I need to give. Like, if I ever do something with like ice mages as a subclass, I found the pun. God damn.
I have another one.
Oh my God, 3 for 1. All right, let's do this.
3 in a row.
Just because we haven't really.
You got to give the people their fix. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been too long.
All right. Why do wizards like fireballs so much?
Joe Cat told them to like it.
It's a well-rounded spell.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Bye.
All right, I'm done. I haven't had the chance to just do puns like completely.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Come back, Spy. Come back.
I'm gonna find a way to shape spells to make that fireball a cube just to spite you now. I'll find a way.
Fire cube.
Wouldn't that be? You'd have to have the help of a fire genasi, I think.
That
What,
sounds
does they have
right.
shape fire?
With manipulate fire. They can change it. Could you imagine changing like the fireball into like the shape of a heart? And it's a hunk of burning love.
Ah, fuck! I was gonna say that.
I can't more. We have
All right, quick! Give me another question before I do a fifth one.
Okay. Let's see. It's become an addiction. Oh no. Let's see. Here's one. This was Lance's pub puns. We were evacuating. Let's see.
The pub is currently burning down
God.
in the shape of a cube.
and a heart at the same time. It's a problem. Anyway,
Tesseract.
What can I say?
Alright,
I'm on fire tonight.
God,
Fuck!
Who asks?
We were too late.
Wait, hold on. Oh wait, this might be a question we asked Hallie. This is about Dare you sin? Wait, I think that we asked a question like this to Hallie, but this must have been one of the ones that we decided to keep because it was good for guest stars. That makes sense.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Moving on then.
Let's see. Livy asks, "How do you rant about something you're excited about without giving?" We did answer this one with "You don't. You can't. It's impossible."
Nope.
Yeah.
This is why. This is the secret. This is the secret to all you DMs out there. This is the secret. What you do is you have your players, and you make them all your friends. You know, all your players are your buddies. But they're not all of your friends in that party. So what you do is you have a couple other friends who you're like, hey, you're not playing this game, so like you're gonna be my my therapist. I can yell at you about these things.
You're going to be my rubber duck.
Right, and if you tell someone in the party, you're dead. This especially works well if you are in another game with them, because then you could actually threaten their other character. So, you know.
Isn't this how 3DMs started?
This is absolutely how 3D.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was just the urge to rubber duck at each other. So thank you, Livy. You solved it. You solved this whole thing.
You've cracked the fucking Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci? I'm sorry.
How do I boot B from the code?
Instant regret. Let's see. Okay, Shay asks, when you do character voices, do you imagine the character to sound like yourself, or are you imitating what their voice sounds like as close as you can? I've heard of it both for most people. If it's the second choice, what are some headcanon voices for some of your characters? So, we've talked a little bit about character voices.
Yeah, a little bit.
We've
We've
talked
a bit, a significant bit about character voices. But this
So
is
I
this is an interesting question.
Yeah, it's more like, are you trying to match the voice you have for them in your head, or is it the voice in my head for them is the voice I give them? Damn it.
Yeah, it kind of varies, honestly. Like, okay, like for Jerry with his sneeze, that's how he sounds. That's just flat out like that is Jerry's voice. Or like Jetai definitely sounds like this. That is how he talks. But for like when I'm like doing fucking one of the NPCs from OE that we get to hear, a Care Vith, who is this absolute brick shit house of an orc tiefling. He's got a very low voice. He's got a very low register and sort of a very received pronunciation Queen's English accent. But I'm not a baritone by nature, so I just go as deep as I can and hope it doesn't sound stupid. So it's a bit of both. It depends on the character. Or like definitely for femme sounding characters, I can't do a femme voice for the fucking life of me, so I just approximate it as best I can.
That's fair. I would say, man, kind of same deal. Depends on the character, you know. I guess we can move on to the part of the question that is, do you have a character who has like someone who you're like, I would cast them in a heartbeat to play this person? We could maybe give one or two each if we have them.
No, honestly, I'm so bad at actually assigning voices to my characters.
That's fair. What about you, Lance?
So most of my characters, like, okay, Nero, my Triton fighter, he kind of has a broken broken language. He's got the I don't even know how to explain it. Like I knew kind of what I wanted for him, and I tried my best, but it ended up not being exactly what I wanted. But it still worked. I don't know. Most of my NPCs, they are panic voices.
Oh, I feel that.
So like they'll be like, "Oh, okay, well we go into this," and I'm like, "Well, there's a kobold," and then like I go talk to him, and I'm like, "Well, crap! Now I have to think of a voice for him." So he ends up being like this. And honestly, that was probably my like favorite NPC in them all. But
Wow.
and it's really funny to like. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little weird. I used to be really self-conscious about doing NPC voices. The only one that I ever really did was Mr. B, and he was, he was an old guy, grouchy old guy. But since my voice has dropped from my testosterone, I've actually become a lot more confident in doing really silly, like NPC voices or my Ronin voice is on just so good.
Just chef's kiss.
Yeah, because he had that kind of southern twang to it. So having that kind of baritone voice now that suits it, I'm just like, yeah, okay, I can do that. I feel more comfortable doing that. But no, most of mine are panic.
Fair enough.
Whatever comes out of my mouth is that character's voice.
Word of God and all.
Now and forever, amen. Oh, guys. Hey, Spy.
Yeah.
In the 3DM's channel, I know you linked Yahoo Answers.
Oh, fuck! Yes!
What?
There's I have the one you pulled up.
I totally fucking forgot.
I have the one you pulled up. I did look. So how do we?
Can I be the one?
You can read. You can absolutely read the first one. I have a good one as well, but I'll do mine later. But I guess we should just say, I guess, is this going to be a thing, or are we just going to look up D?
I don't know if it's going to be an actual thing, because I don't know if there's like an actual wealth of like tabletop centric ridiculous Yahoo answers. Yeah, basically.
I found one on like the first one.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I've been listening to a lot of my brother and me lately, because late night hyper focus doing modeling stuff, and the brothers have been keeping me company. So out of pure just for the shits and giggles of it, I looked and tried to find like a thematic Yahoo question about tabletop games that was ridiculous enough to make us all laugh on air, and I think I found one. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna read it. I have to navigate to the page on my phone because my computer is to my side and I do not want to talk away from the mic. There it is. Oh my god, okay. This is a Yahoo question asked by an anonymous user in Games and Recreation card games 1 decade ago. That carries a lot of weight. Excuse me. And the question is D&D versus Pokemon with 9 question marks.
So it reads more D&D versus Pokemon?
D&D versus Pokemon?
Oh no.
Which is better? Me, D&D, my little bro, Pokemon. And I don't think you can equivocate these, because they're not, like, they're both RPGs, and in a way they are both tabletop, but like, okay, there are tabletop RPG systems for Pokemon, right? I mean, you've looked at a bunch of them. They're all ridiculously fucking complicated, if I remember correctly.
There's one I found that it has a glimmer of potential. I am looking into that one.
All right. But like this question, if you're okay, if you're talking about like the trading card versions of both of these, D&D doesn't have trading cards unless you count spell cards, which no, you wouldn't. It would be more fair to compare Pokemon with fucking Magic the Gathering, because that's a fucking trading card game, right?
Right.
There you have some metric by which to measure them, but they're not the same though. Like
No.
Pokemon is a video game and D&D is a tabletop RPG.
I almost went on a Magic the Gathering versus Pokemon TCG rules rant, so thank you for stopping me.
I just fucking bulldozed right on through.
Oh, it almost happened. Thank you. This is
we're what, an hour in now?
Yeah.
Almost 2.
Oh, thank you, Midnight. They put something live in the chat. We'll get to that. Anyway, nobody else needs to look at it. I caught it.
The fundamental thing is it's an opinion question, really. It's like, what do you prefer, D&D or Pokemon?
And considering, and we've deep dived into the homebrew wiki. We know.
Oh, yes.
We know the homebrew wiki is out here making D&D races for every Pokemon in existence.
Oh,
God. We've done that. We've seen that part. So, like, why do we have to fight? ¿Por qué no los dos?
Why can't we be friends?
We can have both. We can coexist. I will say, Pokemon was the gateway drug, and then I found other things, and then I ended up in D&D. So the younger brother being the one to say Pokemon. Oh, vaguely prophetic. Anyway, my Yahoo, the one I found when I just clicked on the Yahoo page, and it's the first one. The first one. Okay. The literal first one when you search D&D. I think you'll enjoy this. And I think I don't know, guys. This is a real toughie. Is D&D a good first date? This was asked by Anonymous in Dating
shit.
A decade ago.
I can see why they're anonymous.
So
dude, if you have to ask that question,
this is the context. They actually gave context. Okay, I like this girl at my school. I'm a sophomore. She's a senior in high school. She's the most popular girl in the school, and I said one word to her in class this year. Yes, to a question. She lives in my neighborhood, and I was thinking I should invite her over to play D&D. I'm an intense D&D player, and I doubt she's ever played. I have the perfect setting. Oh no! It's a lake with a spell put on it, but oh my god. Okay.
Please just fucking get it over with. Unless it's like really not safe for work.
I'm scanning.
Is it a long one?
No, it's just I need to check. You know. Let's see. Okay, it's not.
I'm getting some huge incel vibes off of this one.
Oh, for sure.
I'm sorry, whoever you are.
I'm starting to wonder if it's a joke. Like it's so comedic. I'm starting to wonder if it's a joke.
Oh, no.
So the setting is a lake with a spell put on it by a fairy named Freylode. People must cross it to go to a town filled with riches. She doesn't have a character, but maybe she could use my backup. It would kill my stats, but I guess it's worth it. I figure after that we could go in my room. We could play Destroy Root and play RuneScape. The computer's in my room, so my mother would have to be in the room, of course. Okay, this is a joke. It has to be a joke.
Oh, please
tell me it's a joke. But the computer is in my room, so my mother would have to be in the room, of course. Like, okay, this has to be a gag. After that, it would be like 8:30 p.m. and it would be time to call it a night. Ask her to go on a date later. What do you think, ladies?
Hold on, this is a sophomore in high school. Oh, dude.
It has to be a joke.
I really can't tell.
I cannot fathom this not being a joke because it makes me afraid to think that someone out there
might have thought this was a good idea.
That this person is real.
It's either
not even that they think that this is a good idea. based on everything that we can tell about this question asker from the question, don't get me wrong, we all had our fucking awkward nerd phase in middle school and high school.
This is true.
Or a nerd, in which case, I don't know, why the fuck are you listening to this podcast?
I don't know. Vin Diesel plays D&D.
He's automatically a nerd, though.
That's true. But he's Vin Diesel.
Fucking Marvel movies. He's a nerd. Anyways.
True.
I forget where I was going with this, but, like, this is just, like, wow.
D&D as a first date is a great idea, but not this way.
No, not like this.
Not like the see the question. It's all about the context of this question.
Right. Like, okay, flat out, D&D as a first date? I mean, if you think it's a good idea, chances are the person that you are interested in also thinks it's a good idea. If you are and in any way reasonable about picking who you date, like, yeah, okay. It's probably gonna be fun.
Yeah, like, because chances are, let's be real, if you're deciding D&D might be a good first date, you're probably going out with someone who also plays D&D.
Exactly. But if you're in fucking middle school and you, like, a stereotypical middle school guy, have a crush on the hottest girl in school and think that this is a good idea, let's go back. Let's sort of look back at this question. Said one word to her all year. Now, I don't know if that's an exaggeration.
This is probably a joke.
It's probably a joke, but, like, for argument's sake.
Yes, let's assume that this is
that is going to go over well. Oh, buddy.
I don't want to assume that this is real.
But, like, for the sake of argument,
don't either. For the sake of my own mental health.
Yeah, I don't. This was asked a decade ago, which leads me to... Hold on, okay, let me think about this. They were a sophomore in high school 10 years ago. And they would have been junior, senior. Let's assume they did 4 years of college. This person's out in the working world right now.
This person might have a fucking PhD by now. Unlikely.
Do you want to see the favorite answer?
At least a bachelor. What? Please. Please.
The favorite answer. Haha. D&D answer. Here's the deal. Forget the fairy setting. You need to cater to the fact she's popular. She's also a senior, so they're much more mature ideas than fairies. You have to blah, 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 blah. All else fails. Threaten. Let's see. You guys being a knight, trying to remember and help her get her kingdom back. You get the idea. Showiness is important. You always want to look good. If all else fails, threaten to turn her family into zombies or to reincarnate them as newts. You can pull out the deck.
Tell me this is in the game. Do not turn her family into zombies in real life.
This is the D&D answer. Then the real life answer. Are you kidding me? D&D is not such a place for someone of your age to ever take a girl on a first date. Hell, any age for that matter. Not unless you've talked about D&D with her and she's genuinely interested, which I doubt is the case. I got my girlfriend to play and she liked it, but she was already my girlfriend. D&D is something you casually bring up after you've already conned them into dating. Even then, you only do it if the group you play with are cool by the girl standards, not yours. If you are serious, and you're going to have a hard time anyway if you're in 10th grade and she's in 12th asking her out, start slow, get in with her friends, if you can. Find out things she likes, and cater to those things. Don't be overly dorky with romantic type crap too early. It won't fly. A date that caters to the things she likes is best. If it takes too long for you to get in, but eventually do then ask her to prom. Good luck, you will need it.
Jesus. Yeah, we're fucking three nerds sitting in our fucking closets talking about D&D. I don't think we're qualified to give this sort of advice. Well, maybe Lance. Lance is married, so, like, I don't know, he's probably qualified.
Yeah, so that whole part about don't be nerdy when you first interact, yeah, that's total bullshit.
Oh yeah, no.
No, for sure.
Listen, if you are hiding a part of yourself to be more appealing to a person that you are interested in, do not be interested in that person. They are not a good fit for you.
Did you watch Aladdin?
Okay, when I met Kaz, we were in art history together. They were the quiet, timid person in the back. I was the rambunctious, distracted person in the front. I would purposely forget my stuff so I could borrow their stuff. and thought they were cute. Wanted to get to know them, but also an introvert, so wasn't quite sure how to go about that. Plus, I'm nerdy as hell. So one day they're wearing a Death Note shirt that says L on it. And spoilers to whoever hasn't watched Death Note at this point, you're probably not going to. But as they're walking back, they pass me, and I shout, "Haha, L dies."
Oh no!
Oh God! And
How the fuck are you married to this person now?
the rest is history, I guess.
The rest is history. Instant love. I think. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know how we got married. Like, Cass puts up with so much of my shit. Like,
blacked out.
I did luck out. I meant to say, like, I like Death Note too, but my nerdy ass just decides to ruin the show for them and shout out the biggest spoiler, which they ended up telling me later on that they knew, but it was still just like one of those moments.
God. Imagine the modern, like the not modern, but like this day equivocal, right? That would be like going up to someone with like a Star Wars shirt on, like 3 years ago when The Force Awakens was new, and like shouting at them in the hallway that like Kylo fucking stabs Han. Like that's the level we're on here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a toss up.
I would say
you can be nerdy, and they're either going to go for it or they won't. It's toss of the die. Just depends on how cute you are, I guess. Because that I was cute, so.
I'd also say it depends on like the person. Like if you're going for this person because, like, it sounds like in the question that the person was going for this because they were the most popular girl in school and not really because there was anything about them they admired. That's not.
Yeah,
that's not right.
What is this show now? Wasn't this a D&D show?
At some point, yes.
Okay,
I don't know. I enjoyed getting the Lance and Cass meet cute backstory. That was.
Oh, I agree. That was great.
That
the
was
deep
adorable.
lore. The deep lore, man. We have 2 more questions, and then we'll go to final segment, and then I think we'll wrap it because we're kind of running a bit later than we intended.
We are running way over time. What are we?
We got excited about this.
We did. It's, you know what? It's fine that we're a little over time. It's our first time back. We're satiating our rabid, hungering base.
I haven't gotten to just like talk, so now I'm just rambling.
So this one is very quick. Midnight Blue jumped in the chat when we were recording and asked simply with 3 words, Fantasy OSHA. Thoughts?
Fuck
yes.
You. Okay. So
they know the story.
They know the story. The reason they asked the question is because in their game, the one I was talking about, House That Bleeds, the house is alive, as most horror houses tend to be.
Yeah.
And there was a bit where like there's this black ooze on the floor, and it's the first threat, you know. And fucking Evelyn, Midnight's character, goes, "Well, that can't be up to code. Like, where's OSHA?" And the DM fucking stops the story to say that the house trembles. And then another character who's supposedly like been in the house for years goes, "We don't say that word here."
Oh my god, that is peak improv. That is either a wild coincidence or more likely peak improv.
It was so good. The house trembles at the might of OSHA.
Oh my god! Oh, that's fucking.
Now I really want to make a Sanctum OSHA.
Do it.
I guarantee you there is one. Please.
Oh, very much so. I just haven't introduced him yet.
Oh man. So that's why Midnight brought up Fantasy OSHA.
Oh my god.
So I hope
my
you appreciate
legacy.
Yes.
Thoughts? Yes.
Thoughts? Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Many thoughts about OSHA. Shay asks, since this is a bit of a reunion for you 3, do you guys have favorite moments from earlier 3DMs episodes? Oh, guys, we get to be sentimental.
Yeah. I mean, shit, dog. I mean, we've done this question before, I think, but it's really, I don't know.
We deserve to get a little fucking sappy after what we've survived.
Oh, I was gonna say thank Lance for Lance,
was
but
gonna say
we're
that is iconic at this point. That is like a running gag is thank Lance for Lance.
It's so good because it came out of Lance being so dead tired.
I was so tired, and his name started with the same letter, and
the episode with Luke was really probably one of my favorites.
That was so good.
That was super fun.
I also deeply enjoyed derailing the entire podcast for like 5 minutes to talk about my culinary crimes.
Oh yeah,
well, actually, no, my roommate's culinary crimes. I should say.
That was Stars. That was Stars.
That was
fucking
Stars
intro.
episode. Yeah,
that was our intro to Stars episode. They didn't get a warm up. They just had to take the plunge into our bullshit.
Oof. Sorry, Star.
Yeah, man. We're brutal to our guests. I mean, think about it. Think about the brutality we've done to our poor guests.
I feel okay. I need to get this off my chest. I feel so fucking bad. Okay, you remember when Nick was on the show? Nick Hirosiva, Dungeon Master of Tales of the Voidfarer. He was on, and we were talking, and there was a knock on my door that was audible in the audio.
That's
and I was
right.
trying so hard to ignore it, and it was the RA, and the RA knocked again. I'm like, and Nick said, "All right, someone's at the door. I need to go check this." And internally, I'm screaming, "No, that's me!" But I couldn't say that. See, I might have like started to say something, but he had already left, and I'm just like internally, I'm like, "Oh fuck." Shit,
that was in the middle of us.
That's my fault. So Nick, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. That was my RA. I should have. I think I had a sign on the door that said "Recording in progress. Please do not interrupt." So I just opened the door and just angrily pointed to the sign and then closed the door again.
Good. I freaking. That was when we were explaining the Sans class too.
Yeah. Oh god, I tried to forget that.
The Sans, what is it, Megalovania? No, you put his voice in post.
That's right. Yep, as the one knocking on the door because we joked that it was Sans.
God, I still feel so bad about that.
It's real good. I remember in the episode where we had Hallie. I remember that Hallie was just completely broken by the Mario kid, and like, yeah. I think we sparked their memories of early Tumblr kin culture, and like they actually like just broke. I remember that. That was great.
We just like breaking our guests.
We love breaking our guests.
Also, like we've had so many like. Frankly, this show has had people on it far cooler than we expected to get on the show.
Right?
Janet from World Anvil. Hello.
Yeah, it's numbered as episode 2.
Episode 2.
Then
it's our first guest. Like what?
Yeah. And then when I remember, this is a bit of since we're just venting out all of our past secrets. The process of getting a guest on 3DMs goes a little something like this. We'll have a conversation. We'll write up a list of people who would be amazing to have on the show, who'd have really good takes on things. And then we sit on that list for a couple months because, oh God, we'd have to ask them to come on our show.
Exactly.
And then eventually, one day, in a fit of blind courage, one of us will just go, you know what? The list is too long. And then just like, I will tend to scattershot message the people on the list.
Yeah, it's usually B.
Yeah, usually.
B's our PR guy.
I tend to scattershot message the people on the list, just like, you know what, fuck this. And then basically sit on my Discord and wait for the bomb to go off. And sometimes it works.
B will message us in our private chat and just be like, yo, we're getting this person on as a guest. And me and Spire just like, neat.
Yeah, cool.
I remember when we got Nick, that was like, we had talked for ages about getting Nick Hirosiva on. And like, about like, oh man, that'd be so cool. Because we all 3 of us are fans of Voidfarer.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. Are you guys caught up yet?
I'm almost. But it's
I'm
like,
like 3 episodes away, and it's getting
Yeah.
wild.
yeah, it's like, that's the thing. We're all fans of these people, so asking them to be on our show is like
It's
someone-
intimidating.
it's like
it's very
They're like 300% cooler than we are, and we just pretend
yeah.
we're not all that cool.
every time I
I got
write
a
those
chance
messages,
to hang out with the Project Derailed folks, including Nick Yersiva and Tom Goldthwait, who are the minds behind Voidfarer. I just hung out with them on voice chat for hours the other night, and oh my god, they're awesome! They're like you hear them in the show, and like yeah, they're cool, right? Well, you don't hear Tom because Tom's the dude who does the music and like some of the background world building. But we were just talking for hours, and they were like telling us about the wild con stories that they've experienced, and like they got to party with Tox Machina
awesome.
at a con. Like what? But yeah, no, they're super cool people, and you should definitely go check out all the Project Derailed family shows, including Tales of the Voidfarer and
Oh, yeah.
Fables on the Table, and what's the new one that they're doing? Oh gosh, I can't remember. Let me check real quick.
Go for it. All you do, I'm trying. The one exception to this rule was Star, because Star happened because we had someone else on the show, and then Star saw us talking about that and then wanted in. Does anyone remember this?
I think so. Yeah. Also, the show that I was talking about is called Chronicle.
Gotcha.
And they're playing Microscope actually, which is a really fucking awesome collaborative world building RPG. Like you are the gods of this world. So I'm excited to.
We talked about that one on the episode with Luke, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, episode 4 we had. No, we didn't have anyone on that one. We were just laughing about episode 4 with the Chicken Warlock. And
yeah, the Chicken Warlock!
And Star was just like, what are you talking about? And then I was like, oh, it's 3DS. This is the thing we do. And then Star was like, that sounds fun. And then Star came on, and hell yeah. God,
hell yeah.
We have so many fucking cool people on our show.
We
y'all.
have so many cool people on our show. It's mind-boggling.
So I guess that's our favorite part, is getting to listen and frankly learn from these amazing people. And also, like, repaying their kindness in dumb shit posts. Which is frankly the only way to repay their kindness.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get sappy. One of my favorite parts is just being able to get on with you guys, and I think our relationship has grown so much, and we've learned so much from each other, and just talking about our projects and like how we go about things, and honestly, like I've learned so much from you guys.
Oh, exact same. Like I picked when 3DM started, it was the three of us because I knew you two were amazing people, and I was just like, this is my chance to pick at their brains without them realizing that that's what I do. God. Yeah, no. Just wow. You know what? I just realized this is technically episode 10. We've hit digits.
Yep. Yeah, we didn't end up doing the Tavern brawls.
Yet.
It'll happen.
We'll figure it out. Frankly, do you blame us? Everyone's schedules, like, we started talking about Tavern Brawl in, like, what, May? So, like, we talked about it right before the big impacts of 2020 started. And at that point, I think everyone collectively was like, okay.
You gotta figure out how to deal with, I saw a fucking Tumblr post that went something like, a guide to experiencing life in 2020. No, what was it? Was every morning in 2020, it's wake up. What is it? Wake up, get dressed, see the most batshit crazy thing I've ever read in my life on Twitter, have breakfast, get to work on the computer.
Yep.
We're all just fucking, I don't know. It's the end of the world. Who knows?
Yeah. But speaking of repaying people's kindness in shitposts, it's time.
It's time.
Before we transition, I just want to say one other thing, and it is okay. I'm slightly disappointed in how the Tale of Old Man Henderson fared. I feel like it didn't land that well, which is disappointing. But then again, it was like the end of October, and that's when shit was really kicking off. So people had
Yeah.
a lot on their minds. So I don't know. If you're listening to this, you probably already heard it, but if you by some chance haven't, please go listen to it. It was an hour, almost 2 hours of me just reading this ridiculous gaming legend.
Oh yeah. It was really fun. I know, like, part of the bit of that episode was Lance and I acting like we absolutely weren't having fun and we're dying. But, like, that was part of the bit.
That was part of the bit? I thought you guys just didn't enjoy it.
Oh, no, it was a good time.
Oh, no, it was great. I still aspire to be Henderson, so it's fine.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was just that Lance and I were just like, this is like...
It was one of those things it was so ridiculous we had to act like it was so ridiculous. But we
okay,
secretly, spoiler alert, we enjoyed it thoroughly.
Oh, for sure. It just was just like, you would end at places. You're just like, I need a second, and then me and Lance would just have to be like,
oh my god,
an explosion just went off, and we have a second to recover. So of course the first things we asked were like, are you okay, Lance?
Are you good? Are you still alive?
Yeah, like
yeah.
Yeah, no, that was definitely just part of the bit, was that we just had to... We sat and listened attentively to this nightmare, this fever dream of a campaign. And, like, it was like watching explosions happen. The only things we could ask are, you alright? Also, it was very early for
I hate that I didn't hate it. And it was very early for me.
I think there were so many emotions. There were so many emotions I felt during that recording. Mostly fear. A lot of it was
mostly fear. Yeah.
Oh, man. But speaking of absolutely breaking the game...
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so I have... Since it is such a momentous occasion, I have a choice. There's 3 choices we can take. And I haven't read too deep into either of these. I just found these names, made sure there was no April Fool's tag, and then was just like, all right, time to wait for your responses. We have the Dire Human, the Volp Loop, and the Neko variant.
Oh no. Sorry, I didn't catch the second one. What was that?
Volp Loop.
I'm too...
Oh no.
I'm too curious about that one. I go with the second.
No, I know it's coming. And I don't like it.
I'll put an image.
You put us between a rock and a furry place, my dude. I don't care for that shit at all.
We also have Dire Human.
Dire Human might be fun. It's kind of what I'm hoping, like, December offers us for 2020.
We could do that. Yeah.
All right. Just... I don't know.
Take it away. Dire Human. Actually, no. Actually, I'm going to roll a d4.
Oh, no.
We've hit, like, the paradigm
What
shift.
happens if you get 4? Do we just end the podcast?
I re-roll.
Oh.
1. Dire Human.
It is.
Alrighty. Call them beasties, Nary sets of wit. Tell you what, though, them and their plotters earned me some fine coin. Ringmaster Lagawi, deceased. Dire humans, like dwarves, are roughly 5 feet tall and weigh an average of 170 pounds, although some have been reportedly near 7 feet tall. These are only on rare occasions.
What?
Their large bodies and shorter legs differentiate them. They look similar to those of humans, but with prominent features. Their heads are elongated, their bodies have wide shoulders, their hair may be black or dirty blonde, but it is predominantly varying shades of reds and browns. As with all dire creatures, dire humans are a more monstrous, feral version of humans. In addition to the characteristics above, they're visually stronger looking than the average human, borderlining on the beastly. Dire humans are of the same descent as traditional humans. At some point they split and became a different branch of the family tree, parallel humans. It is believed that some of them were split by terrain shift or civil problems.
Oh my god.
In more recent history, dire human population's swollen number has resulted in their re-encounter with humans. Dire humans are known to be caught by... Whoa, okay. Dire humans, in their feral state of mind, often... Hold on a second. This is getting real... What?
Yeah. First of all, I'd just like to say this person fucking made Neanderthals a playable race and then continued to demonize them.
Right? Yeah. Like this. Where did this go?
I had a much different explanation for them, but you guys go ahead.
This was supposed. I was expecting this to be like gone feral. The jokes.
No. Okay, Lance, what is your interpretation of the word dire human?
Karens.
Fuck! God damn it!
It's so much better than anything this person wrote.
It's Karen playable race.
Absolutely. So good. So good. That's so good.
I'm just going to mute myself for the rest of this now.
Hold on a second.
No, you don't get to do that.
Hold on a second. This is the Homebrew Wiki.
No, don't. Don't try it!
Anyone could hypothetically go in here and make the dire human whatever we want.
Oh, I thought you were going to search up Karen.
No, I was just going to say that we could just change the dire human from this, which is starting to feel genuinely gross, into actually making it a Karen, because that's funny.
Fucking do it, vandalize this shit.
There is a summon Karen spell, but it is under April Fool's.
I just think of, like you're explaining, they're stronger than regular humans, they're more feral, but they're introduced back into this human society, and I'm just like, you see a Karen, you're like, where did you come from? And they always seem to have super strength, and they're always yelling, and they're always acting feral. It makes sense. I'm just saying, I'm listening to this, and I'm like, oh my god, it's a Karen race.
Dirty blonde.
I prefer it to the world building this person's created, frankly. Let's see. Their only abilities are primal senses, which is like survival checks and stuff. Checks that would have you grappled, roll with disadvantage. Actually, that's not a bad thing. Humans are to be quick on their feet. They have advantage on saving throws against being knocked prone. Huh. Mechanically, actually sounds kind of neat.
Yeah.
Lore, the cursed part is the genuinely starting to get creepy lore.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is cursed for the wrong reasons. But I personally
would have preferred the Volp loops.
Yeah, honestly. Frankly, like I said, I just read the names and then decided to give it up to the vote. I should have scanned this one. But like I was expecting the joke to be, when we go feral, that's a dire human.
Yeah, no.
Like 2020 survival. No. Funnier than what this person wrote. I'll give it that. Yeah.
By far.
I personally prefer the Karen interpretation a lot.
Yeah, thanks, Lance.
You're welcome.
So, in canon, the dire humans are just really loud people who demand to see managers. That's it.
A lot, yeah.
But they still have all those same aspects, the whole grapple thing, because they'll steal your stuff. They don't get knocked prone because they'll yell that you're hurting them.
I have a question. What is the difference between a Karen and a murder hobo?
Vicious mockery versus sneak attack.
All right, you asked and answered. Thank you.
Yeah, you can see a Karen coming from a mile away.
It's a barbarian versus a rogue, I think.
That is... Yeah, all right. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Should we call it there?
I think so. That was really good. All right. Well, hopefully we'll get to do this again very soon.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I enjoy doing this. This was
fun.
It was a bit longer than we expected. We introduced what could end up being a new segment. Who knows?
God, I hope not.
The Yahoo answers were great, though.
Yeah, but I don't want to get sued by the McElroys for infringing on their fucking trademark.
I found a Yahoo answer that isn't D&D related, but it had me have to mute my mic because I was laughing so hard.
You know what? Fine. Let's end it with this. It's a treat.
All right. Let's just fucking wholesale rip it from
all right.
Final Yahoo. Lance, take it away.
So this question was asked: if you die in Canada, do you die in real life?
Fuck!
And
Misty Midnight, we gotta know.
the best answer was from Big K, and it said no. If you die in Canada, you go to one of the Canadian afterlives. Those who die in battle ascend to glorious Texas, where they ride forever, shining in chrome. Those who are just in good ascend to England, where there is always fresh tea and everyone is polite. If you die in Quebec, you go to France. Those who are wicked and cruel are reborn into the hells of Detroit, a fate far worse than death.
They're not wrong.
Okay. If you are a sinner and you die, or if you are a French sinner and you die in France, you go to Quebec. Quebec is French hell. That is just the way that it is.
And if you die in Quebec, you go to France. It all makes sense. It's a gateway.
Oh my god, fuck.
Misty
So yeah, that's where we'll end that.
Yeah, Misty Midnight, we're not asking you to go commit murder, but we do need to know.
It's
So
for science. It's for science.
Report back to us next time. You're our hitman now. The end of 3DM's 10, we've hired